The queen of pop right now is back in the news, everybody. I'm talking about Britney Spears. So can we talk about Britney Spears, what just happened today or yesterday? What the hell? All right, everybody. So Britney Spears is back in the news one more time. You might be like, why is Britney Spears back in the news? Of course, a whole incident went down, and she was at a hotel with her new boyfriend, and she got injured, and then somebody called the paramedics, but it wasn't her, actually. There was somebody else that got there, and she said it was all fake news that she was actually injured. People are trying to make this into being a thing where she was abused, I think, and she's like, it's fake news. It's not, and it's very unfortunate. There's pictures of her holding a pillow out in actual public, and it happened like 12 o'clock. Oops, she did it again. It was like at midnight last night this went down, and I feel really bad for her because she was with her new boyfriend, Paul Richard Sellers, and who was her housekeeper before, apparently, and so then they kind of fell in. I mean, like, you know, she pulled a Schwarzenegger. So they kind of fell for each other. You know, that's the nanny. I think she was. I think she was the housekeeper, wasn't she? I don't think she was a nanny. I think it was I think it was the same shit.
I think different she was a nanny
person. Well, we can fact check that shit later.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
But there was like saying there was a massive fight, and then at the Chateau Marmot over in West Hollywood, and paramedics came to the scene. They rushed in. She came down. She did not go to the hospital. She said, "People, just let people know this is fake news." She said, "This is fake news. I would like to respect it this time for people to understand that I am getting stronger every day. She's stronger than yesterday." I'll take a sip. And she twisted her ankle, jumping around, having a good time, and the paramedics came in illegally, knocked on her door illegally, and somebody just called for a publicity stunt, pretty much. She's back home, she's fine, and she's just upset about this. I just think, though, it's messed up that no one leaves Britney alone. I just think this is like who she is, right, everybody? I just think that at this point, if something happens, there's paparazzi, there's somebody trying to find a way. They were drunk and running around and making noise and stuff. So maybe someone thought there's opportunity here, then they jump in, and then they can get some pictures for paparazzi of her holding a pillow crying. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is.
By the way, you were right. It was a housekeeper. It was definitely a housekeeper.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, audience. Thank you for saying I'm right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for admitting that I was wrong. You're welcome.
I only hear that in the bedroom, buddy.
Oh shit, Pep Star.
Peppy, I don't want to know what you're doing behind closed doors. Okay, Peppy. Rein it in.
Peppy is
he's hitting that sausage fest hard.
Yeah. Britney is all right, Queen. She says she's okay. She's back home and she's fine. She says a minor twist and it's okay. She didn't go to the hospital, actually. But this came out and leads to the bigger case again, which we talked about in the show before. And that's I just want to talk about briefly, but nobody wants to leave Britney alone. Doesn't matter. She puts stuff on Instagram, on social media, and it becomes a big deal. And people try to make press and like headlines off her all the time. They go to Ron. Ron, I know you love Britney. I know you love her so much. And you hear this. Is this just make you upset because you're like, we finally got to a point where Britney may be okay, get some privacy, or will this never end, Ron? And this is like her for the rest of her career / life.
I think this is her life. Yes. But I also don't feel that her life is going to be that long. Every time I hear of her in the news, I'm like, oh my God, was this it? There's something truly troubling about her. And when she, I guess when she came out of the chateau the other night, she was barefoot holding a pillow. It's just, there's so many things that are always off and odd about her. And everybody is so quick to make a judgment and they're quick to take pictures, but there's nobody helping her that I'm aware of, you know?
Definitely not.
And it's like, it's just like she needs some sort of help. She needs some sort of guidance, not a conservative, not that, but
no.
It's just she's a 14-year-old girl, and it's like, you know, she's turning 40, but she's so immature and young because of her life that was taken from her. You know, this is where she is. She's stunted at like 14.
Yeah,
that picture's horrible. I hate seeing it. Just the poor. She can't do anything without it being turned into something chaotic. You know.
And it's been everywhere, Ron. Everyone's been like, that picture right there is like the big headline today. That's been going around everywhere. And it's like, I saw that and I just feel bad for her, right? Yeah. At this point, again, she is becoming this, she's been a sensation her whole career, but now she's becoming, you know, it's almost like what's going to happen next?
With craziness,
you know what I mean? That's what it is. Like, what's going to happen next? She's become more notorious for her actions rather than her voice.
It sucks because she's a big talent and she's given a lot. She's given a lot. You're right, 14-year-old. I remember when I was in high school, I mean, I've said before, like she was like the biggest thing back then. I remember watching her on TRL and be like, oh my God, Britney Spears. And when she did it again, I was even more excited. When she was a slave for me, I was even more excited.
There's a lot of crusty tissues laying around teenage boys' rooms in that time period. Okay, we all know about it. It happened everywhere.
Oh,
Oops,
baby,
you
baby.
did it again.
Oh, baby.
You did it again.
I read her book.
Your parents were like, what's going on with these socks? Why are they crusty? That was happening.
But Ron, you did read the book. The book is very telling too. I've been told. I still haven't read it yet.
Michelle Williams narrates it. It's
very
amazing.
telling. Oh, she was great as a narrator. That was a perfect choice. It's amazing, but she lets people have it. I was really pleased that she just really doesn't hold anything back and lets people have it, from her sons to her dad to her mom. She just goes after them.
Yeah, well, she needs to. Like, I can't imagine it's the same kind of that happened with Macaulay Culkin back in the day too, for an actor as opposed to a musician, where the parents are just taking advantage of them. Which again is a big topic that happens all the time. That's why you have the Coogan accounts that have taken care of that, and also now hopefully something happens for musicians. It still hasn't happened. I don't think there's the Coogan accounts, but it's still the same. Like Britney got trapped in a conservatorship, and it's like, what happens next? We can, what do you do? Is it be happening to somebody else? It could happen, no problem.
It could be happening. As we speak.
Yeah. How's K-Fed doing?
K-Fed's in Hawaii with the children.
Yeah. He's still collecting the paycheck from her, so that's what happens.
With the children.
He's only got a couple more months though. The last kid was 18, like I believe this summer.
Preston, is Preston the younger or the older?
What a weird marriage. Sabrina, do you think that this will ever end for Britney? Do you think this is just blown out of proportion, or maybe there was something actually wrong that happened on that night at the chateau?
I honestly, I don't know. Obviously no one knows because they weren't there, but I will say that she has led a very troubled life, and that people look for things like this in order to exploit her and create a situation that may or may not be true. Now, that is obviously easier to do because she has done things like shave her head and beat a car with a baseball bat. So it's difficult, like when there's an opportunity for people to not behave like assholes, because that's what a lot of people are. Now, if anyone watches her Instagram or follows her Instagram, she also daily pretty much puts on the smallest clothes she could find and dances around with what looks like slept on mascara, because I've woken up looking like that a million times. And a messy house in the background, and maybe a lamp is turned over the couch. Like, there's a lot of question marks, so people who are obsessed with her and love her, and they're like, oh my God, are probably right. There you go. Exactly. Look at that. Look at the one on the right. I can't see the one on the left, but there. Thank you. Look at you, Brian. You moved it. See those eyes? I woke up with those eyes just a couple days ago because I drank too much and didn't take off my makeup. So this is something that happens with her regularly. So people are like, something is wrong, something's amiss, we're trying to help you. But I believe anyone who was at the Chateau Marmont was absolutely not giving a shit about her, and probably just being like, hey, there's Britney Spears, let's make a big deal. Although she did come out with a pillow. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of questions about her always. And if I ever saw her in person, I literally would walk up to her and hold her hand and be like, hey, do you want to hang out for a few minutes and have a chat, maybe go for a walk? I feel like you just need to maybe have someone to talk to. And I'm a very impartial human being that would listen to all of your bullshit. Your parents exploited her whole childhood, essentially. And if you look at that group of people, some people do turn out okay, but look at Michael Jackson. And not that I'm comparing her to him in the terrible way, obviously. But some people are stuck. Like Ron was saying, she's stuck when she was stuck as a child, because her parents kind of forced her into this and made her be that way. And she never really got to grow up, especially because of the conservatorship. So she has never really had to adult, and she's impulsive and makes decisions that are probably not amazing. And, people it's just a full circle thing. When you have that many fans and followers on Instagram and shit, people are always going to be talking shit. And if you keep posting stuff, people are going to keep speculating, and people are going to do what they did that night. So I don't know how to mitigate it unless she went off social media, which she would never do.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, I know. But so, I just don't know. I just hope I run into her at Starbucks, because I think I could help her. Brittany, if you're watching, I love you, girl. I'm here for you anytime you need me.
Yeah. I just think it's just we hope that nothing bad ever happens to her. Like Ron say, you never know. I see a headline, I think something bad's coming, and this is not that bad. But then again, they're always looking for stories about Britney Spears. It's just what it is. Thirsty Daddy. You see Britney, right, and you see what's been happening with her over and over and over again. Do you think?
Oh, I do care about this one, Peppy. Sorry.
Oh, do you?
And Ron said it best. I mean, she's a 40-year-old woman that's really a teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
And too many people have been able to take advantage of her. I mean, if I was in her family, I'd be kicking the shit out of her parents on general principle.
Oh, yeah, her parents suck.
Twisted this poor woman, to be something she's not. And the hotel did it all for publicity. I mean, she was playing with her boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, and fell down and twisted her ankle in a very nasty manner. If you saw the pictures, they did it for publicity. Oh, let's call somebody and get some publicity out of it.
100%.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
But the fact that she came out of the room holding a pillow is weird. Like there's always something weird that goes along with it, which makes people speculate more than they should.
Something just off.
Yeah, something just slightly wrong. You're like, why are you barefoot with a pillow? I don't understand why we're doing that.
Yeah, why would you have a pillow to put under your foot when you've got a twisted ankle? God knows.
It wasn't under her foot. She was holding on to it. It wasn't under her ankle. She was carrying it out of the room.
She's a 14-year-old girl that's scared.
She was holding
it. Exactly. Thank you, Ron. Nailed it.
Yeah, she's totally scared and nervous, and she doesn't know what to do. And she does.
It's like a stuffed animal.
Every moment she steps outside,
it's a psychological pillow is what it is. It's a real pillow, but it's for psychological aid.
Yeah. Yes.
When you're hurting, you're hurting.
Jordan, do you think that's what it is? An anxiety attack? And that's what it is at this point because she knows what's going to happen when she walks outside?
I think she's got an anxiety disorder. I mean, anybody in the spotlight like that, the media wants her to be the way she is because we've said it's been in the news everywhere forever. Child actors are always trying to say they fail, they have issues, and they won't leave them alone. I mean, anybody in her position, she does have some mental disorder. She needs help. And I wish somebody would just say, hey, let's get her some help instead of calling the paparazzi or like Sabrina said, she'd have to probably leave social media, which she won't do.
Oh, no, not going to happen.
And it's very sad to see this. I just don't like the way they follow child stars in the past. I don't like the way most of them are taken advantage of. I mean,
like
you look at most of them.
Alone guy. How long ago was that? And it's still happening.
The what?
And you look at some of them. A lot of them.
That guy.
Their family is taking. Their family.
It's called paparazzi. They take pictures and make money.
I mean, it's just hard to get in the business at her age. And like Ron and everybody said, she's pretty much still 14, 15. I mean, she's still in that era where, I don't think she ever grew up. And she
never grew up.
Well, she's older than you are.
Yeah, she has some kind of generalized anxiety disorder or PTSD of some kind, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just sad.
Maybe she does need a comeback. Maybe that would be what it is. People are saying in chat, Queen said it, Racer X said, like maybe she sees a new album. And then
she's done with music, she said.
That's what she said.
She said she doesn't want to perform anymore.
Yeah.
She's had enough.
I think that's part of her anxiety.
To perform for a long time.
Right.
Like and it's like a dance monkey dance situation, and that's not fucking fair.
No.
Yeah. It's not fair.
If her parents feed her
a lot of PTSD, you got to run from what's bothers you that much. I mean, I did for years from Vietnam.
If her parents,
you don't have to say it from that,
right?
But you do it anyway.
If her parents forced her to do a lot of shit and they controlled her life, she does not want to get up in an environment that will remind her of that past life.
That's exactly
what she does. She dances every day in her foyer
She does still dance.
But
on
she's-
Instagram. It's on her
she's
own terms,
technically
to
by
her own
herself.
songs. Sometimes she's wielding knives. Sometimes she's in a thong. Sometimes she's in a bodysuit. Who knows? Maybe she's in a dress. I don't know. I'm just saying there are a lot of options, and she makes
I know.
those choices herself, as opposed
She does
to
her own
someone
hair and
else
makeup.
making the. Well, no, she does not. She does not do her own hair. and
Well,
makeup.
she does,
wakes
but,
up.
I
No,
mean-
no, she just wakes up. She wakes
Just
up.
wake up.
That is literally what I woke up every
It's called
Saturday.
morning
That's what I look like. I wake up on Saturday, and I certainly would not Instagram myself in underwear on a
Touche.
Saturday. Okay, there's no hair and makeup done. It's like
Sabrina.
it's
It's
like
not
this. Wait,
necessarily
ready?
her.
Hold up. Oh, I'm a woman. I know she has not done any hair or makeup. To be clear, okay. So does any other woman.
Okay,
It's
you know it
basically
all.
like, hold on, wait. I just woke up. Oh my god, you guys, I have to dance. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me. Let's just hold on. I'm gonna put the song on. I'm gonna do some weird stuff. I'm gonna do.
That's
this.
it.
It's like, yeah, pretty much.
Hey.
That's what she does
Knives for fake.
every day. So
Hey now, hey now.
Do that too.
I'm not hating on her at all. Like, and that's her outlet. I'm happy for her. And I'm happy that no one's controlling her. You know, but I feel like she's lashed out and made weird decisions because she wanted to rebel against her conservatorship and her parents and her managers and all the people who are making her do stuff. And that's just not fair for a person. And so like people judge her for making bad decisions, but honestly, like, what the fuck would you do? Like, oh, I can have a healthy relationship or do a healthy thing when I have 15 people hovering over me like flies. Like, it's just too. I don't know how she could ever have been a healthy human being with her life, considering, you know. And I know that there are other kids in the Mickey Mouse Club, like, you know, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and Christina Aguilera. They were all in the same, you know, area, but they all didn't have her fucking parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a big fucking
Yeah.
difference when you don't have parents that are taking care of you.
Your
Yeah.
support system means a lot when you're young.
Tell me more.
You didn't have one.
You know,
Means a lot always,
if
but
it's
when
a
you're
form of
young-
PTSD, unless you suffer from it, you don't understand it.
Yeah.
It is one of the most debilitating things I've ever dealt with.
Well, I
And
mean, your PTSD
I pray
is
to
a
God
little
that the young
different.
woman can get some help from somebody. And I don't mean
What?
help in I mean physical help. Help her talk through some of the shit she dealt with.
Well, I really do hope that Britney Spears does get help eventually.
I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at what you were saying, but that is a funny comment.
What?
So
Yeah,
do
I
that
mean-
dance again, Sabrina. But I was laughing while Gio was being very serious at PTSD, and I'm sorry. It's because I read the comment.
Yeah. I've heard it before. I don't
mean,
take
yeah.
it personal, Serena. I'm used to it.
No, PTSD is
you
very,
believe
very,
that?
very serious to me. It really
It
is,
is.
honestly.
No,
And especially-
honey, I don't give a shit. I mean,
Vietnam in general, is PTSD like defined, to be clear. So I happened to read that when I was putting it up. I put it up and
you
then
know,
I read
I
it, and I was like,
understand. I
oh,
read
I
it
was.
too. It was,
It was a second
deal
too
with
late. I
gotta
should have
do what you
waited.
gotta
Give me
do.
one paw up, bruh.
One pop. All right, I'm gonna
All
drink
right.
because I did a bad thing. I love you
Yeah.
guys.
I just hope that Britney does get help eventually. And again, this is an ongoing thing we talk about in the show multiple times. And I hope that she will be okay. And, you know, the worst case scenario doesn't happen eventually. I hope that she does eventually just take care of herself, get treatment, and just eventually. It's hard. Like Ron said, she's a 14-year-old girl at this point. She's never grown up, stuck in that, you know, you get celebrityism, you grow that fast, you blow up, you never get a chance to actually become an adult and find yourself because you're trapped in a
And her parents never let her.
no, they're not. But they're trapped in a like a phase in a way of your life you can't get out of. And I hope that eventually she can, and she will be okay. Because I do worry about her every day too when I see this. And I know Britney will be okay. At least I hope. And whatever happens next, I hope she's happy, and she will take care of herself.